Quick question. When you type a website into your browser, who actually sees that first request? Not just the website, not just your browser, your internet provider, and your DNS resolver, maybe your VPN. And that first request is packed with value because it reveals who you visit. And that who is the part advertisers love the most. Today I'll show you a simple move that hides a lot of that who. It's called Encrypted DNS, and it's boring, it's not flashing, but it's one of the most effective things you can do for your privacy. We'll cover what DNS actually does, why it leaks, why a VPN doesn't magically fix it, and how to lock that door on your phone, your laptop, and even your router. Let's get into it. Alright, so a quick refresher. You type example.com into your browser. Your computer doesn't know where that lives. It only knows IP addresses, so it asks a helper called a DNS resolver. Think of it like a phone book for the internet. Hey, what's that number for example.com? Your computer gets the IP. Then it connects to the server. It says, hi there, I'd like to speak TLS. That's the secure handshake your browser uses. After that handshake, your connection is encrypted, so tight that even a very determined attacker can't see your actual page content, your password, or the video frames you're watching. That's HTTPS doing its job. Good news. But here's the catch. Before those encryption shields go up, you shout your question. Where is example.com? That shout is your DNS lookup, and by default, that shout usually goes to the DNS server your ISP handed your router through DHCP. Most people never change it, which means your ISP often sees that who you're visiting. That who is pure gold. Why? Because the list of sites you visit says a lot about you. You don't even need names in a spreadsheet to figure out who's who. You can aggregate visit, bundle them into trends and cohorts, and still infer a lot. Reputable ISPs build products around exactly that. It's strong enough and good enough for advertisers, and it passes audits, but it's still your life's exhaust. And it gets worse. Even when you remove obvious identifiers, data can sometimes be linked back to people. That's reidentification. The more parameters you have, the easier it gets. Long ago, your browser gave away little clues like screen resolution, language, time zone, fonts, etc. Combine enough of those and you can identify a device with surprising accuracy. You could be anonymous on paper and still be trackable in practice. So what can you do? Some folks just say, just get a VPN. And sometimes that helps. But a VPN doesn't always change the facts of the matter, because the who still has to be resolved by some DNS server. If your DNS goes to the VPN can see those lookups. If it doesn't, your ISP might still see them. Either way, somebody's seeing that who. So here's the move. Encrypt that first shout. Encrypt your DNS. There are two main ways to do that today. DNS over HTTPS, that's DOH, and DNS over TLS, that's DOT. What do they still see? They can often see the IPs you connect to after the lookup. They can measure timing. They might guess services by traffic patterns, but they can't just read your list of domains lookups in the clear. So that's a big win. Before we lock it in, quick mindset check. Encrypted DNS doesn't make you invisible. It just reduces one major leak. It also shifts trust. When you choose an encrypted DNS provider, that provider can see your lookups. So pick someone with a strong privacy policy, a minimal logging stance, and a good reputation. We'll go over options in a minute, and remember, your browser traffic is already encrypted with HTTPS for most sites. DNS fills a gap. It hides the who from easy view in transit. So okay, action time. I'll give you simple setups for the big platforms. We'll start with the easiest, your browser. If you only care about your laptop or desktop, this is real fast. In Chrome, Edge or Firefox, in Settings, you'll find secure DNS profiles or checkmarks, so you can easily choose a provider to encrypt your DNS connection. Browser level DOH encrypts DNS for that browser only. Other apps on your system may still use your operating system DNS. Keep that in mind. If you want it system-wide, you need to activate encrypted DNS at operating system level. Windows 11, Windows 10, uh, obviously Linux, Mac OS, Android, and even iOS support encrypted DNS and have easier or not so easy ways to set it up. If you prefer apps, some providers offer a lightweight app to enable DOH or DOT without a full VPN. Now, if you want to cover your whole home in one move, do it at the router. This varies a lot by model. Look for a setting called DNS over HTTPS, DNS over TLS, or secure DNS. Some routers have it built in, many don't. If yours doesn't, you do have options. Either flash a privacy-oriented firmware like OpenVRT if your router supports it, then enable DOH or DOT over there. You can also put a small device on your network like a Raspberry Pi running a resolver that supports encryption, and then you set your router's DNS to that device. Or simpler, just replace your router with a newer one that supports secure DNS out of the box. Router level encrypted DNS means every device in your home uses it, even your TV. And yes, your TV needs it, because smart TVs love to talk. And those domains say a lot about you. The more a device phones home, the easier it is to link that data back to you. Alright, so which providers should you pick? Here are a few well-known options. But do your own research and pick the policy you trust. Cloudflare. It has a strong privacy posture, minimal logging, and very fast performance. Offers DOH and DOT. Also offers family filters if you need them. Quad9 is non-profit, focused on blocking known malicious domain. It has a privacy-centric mission. And then we have Google Public DNS. It has massive scale, strong performance, but it's corporate-backed. So read the privacy policy and decide if that fits to your comfort level. NextDNS is also highly configurable. It has per device profiles and logs that you can disable or prune. It's great for families and power users. Again, the trust shifts. You're choosing who sees your lookups. For many people, moving that trust from ISP to a dedicated DNS provider with a clear privacy promise is worth it. And one more thing, DOH versus DOT. Which should you choose? DOH runs over standard HTTPS ports. It blends in with regular traffic. That makes it harder for networks to block or meddle with. Browsers support it natively. DOT uses a dedicated port. It's clean and simple. Some networks might still block it. Many mobile operating systems make DOT easy. If you're not sure, pick DOH in your browser or DOT on your Android's private DNS settings. Both encrypt the lookup. Both work well. So okay, let's test yours. On your computer, you can visit your DNS provider's test page. For example, for Cloudflare is 1.1.1.1/help, and it will say if your DNS is encrypted. It also tells you if you use DOH or DOT. In your browser, you can also search for DNS leak test sites. I'm gonna put one into the description of this video so you can test for yourself. Do the test match your DNS provider, or does it still show your ISP's DNS? If it does show your ISP's DNS, something's not right, and you might want to enforce your device, your operating system, or your router to only run on encrypted DNS, because some settings can allow fallback to non-encrypted DNS, and that's how DNS leaks appear, and you're not that secure in that case. Some routers force their own DNS regardless of what clients ask for, so turn off DNS rebind protection if needed and if it's safe, or just replace the router. So let's cover common gotchas. Captive portals. Hotels or airport Wi-Fi's often require the sign-in page. Encrypted DNS can block that page from appearing. So if you can't reach a login page like that, temporarily set your private DNS to off, sign in, and then turn it back on. For parental control and content filters, if you use your ISP's parental control, be aware that encrypted DNS might bypass them. Use a provider that offers family filters, or enforce DNS at the router. For enterprise networks, your company might require that their DNS is set for security and compliance. Don't override it without permission. You could break monitoring or violate policy. CDN geolocation. Some CDNs serve content based on your DNS location. Changing resolvers may affect which server you connect to. Usually it's fine. If you see weird streaming behavior, try a different provider. The fallback behavior. Some system will silently fall back to unencrypted DNS if encrypted one fails. Check for a setting like encrypted only or strict. Turn off automatic if it falls back too easily. VPN interactions. Many VPN apps force their own DNS. That can be good or bad. Good if the VPN uses encrypted DNS and respects privacy, but bad if it uses a weak resolver or logs heavily. Test with the VPN on and off, see who resolves your DNS in both cases. And now a big misconception about incognito mode. Incognito hides your local history. It does not hide your DNS. Your resolver can still see the domains you look up. Your network can still see connections. Incognito is not a privacy shield on the network. Encrypted DNS closes that specific gap. And another thing, HTTPS hides the content of your pages. That's great. But before that handshake, your DNS lookup is still that loud question. Encrypting DNS makes that question private too. Let's zoom out for a second. Why does this matter? Because the who you visit is often all that's needed to paint a picture. Healthcare sites, financial sites, political sites, hobby forums. No one needs your exact page content to infer a lot about your life. That's why your ISPs design data, products, and around trends and cohorts. That's why adversaries care about metadata. And that's why encrypted DNS is worth 5 minutes of your time. If you've made it this far, you've already got the why. But I want to leave you with one more idea. Security is layers. You don't win privacy with one giant move. You win it with several small, boring moves. This is one of those moves. It's not dramatic, it doesn't take a weekend. It doesn't break your apps if you do it right. It just reduces the amount of information you're handing over for free. And that's the point. Now, a quick word on expectations. Sometimes you'll still see domain names in logs or in your browser's connection info. That's normal. Your system and apps need to know where to connect. Encrypted DNS doesn't erase domain names from your device. It encrypts the connection as it travels. It keeps eavesdroppers and default resolvers from hearing the shout. That's the practical win. And yes, you can combine tools. You can use a VPN and encrypted DNS together. You can use a privacy-focused browser and system-wide DNS. You can run a local resolver for your home and still use a trusted upstream provider. Pick the combo that fits your life and is the most convenient for you. And if you're wondering what should I do right after this video, do this. On your phone, set private DNS on Android or install a DOH profile on iOS. On your laptop, enable secure DNS in your browser. If you're motivated, set it up on your router next. Cover your smart devices too. Add DNSSEC validation. That checks the authenticity of DNS answers. It's a separate layer from encryption, but it's a great comparison. So, by the way, let's clarify that. DNSSEC versus encrypted DNS. DNSSEC is about authenticity. It helps ensure the DNS answer wasn't tampered with. It uses signatures. It does not hide the query. Encrypted DNS is about confidentiality. It hides the query in transit. It does not magically validate the answer's authenticity. They solve different problems. Use both if you can. One more practical tip. If you're choosing between two providers, test them each for a week. And look at speed. Does browsing the net feel snappy? Is it reliable? Do you have any outages or problems? Look for false positive. Does a security filter block a legit website you visit? Do you want logs off? Does it store logs? Do you want parental filters? Does it support something like that? Switching is easy, don't overthink it. Back to the big picture. When people talk about privacy, they jump straight to extreme tools. Tor, full stack VPNs, lock down everything. Those have their place, but most of the value for most people comes from simple defaults done right. Update your devices, use HTTPS everywhere, lock your screen, use a good password manager with good passwords, and encrypt your DNS. because the who you visit is the metadata that matters. It's the part companies package into trends. It's the part that can still be linked back to you when enough parameters pile up. And it's the part most folks don't realize it's still loud and clear on many networks. Fix that. Make that shout a whisper. Turn on encrypted DNS. And the final reminder about VPNs. A VPN changes who sees your traffic first. It can hide your DNS from your ISP, but it doesn't make DNS go away. The resolver on the other end still sees your lookups, and while VPNs are useful, they don't always fix the core issue of who visibility by themselves. Encrypted DNS addresses that who directly. That's why the combination can be very strong. VPNs for location privacy or insecure networks, encrypted DNS for consistent, quiet lookups everywhere. Together, they reduce what your ISP, your Wi-Fi provider, and random eavesdroppers can learn. If you find this helpful, pause the video right now, open your settings, turn on encrypted DNS on the device. It takes only 2 minutes. Come back and tell me in the comments which provider you picked and why. Because once you do it on one device, you'll want it on all of them. And you'll feel that quiet satisfaction of taking back control. No drama, no panic. Just better defaults. Thanks for watching and take care of your privacy. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and for the curious, here's the simplest way to remember the whole thing. HTTPS encrypts the content you read and write after the handshake. DNS encryption hides the question you ask before that handshake. Your ISP often sets the default resolver via DHCP. If you never change it, they can see the who. ISPs and others love the who. They build cohorts and trends from it. It's valuable. And the VPN doesn't automatically and always fix it. Encrypted DNS does. Make the shout a whisper, flip the switch. You've got this.